Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we are.
You did. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Peter. Yeah, I think Bobby is not in today. I see a message from her, but also I added a slide. He asked me. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so welcome to the 29th September meeting. And yeah, a small agenda for today, but I think some news. One is the logo, the new logo I received from Bobby, and also the meetup announcement. We have a meetup in October. Yeah, it's part of the mentorship program, and I'd like to know some news from Jaran. Is in the goal or later. And then about agents, now I want to clean up the repo and also to start the idea validation. Okay, that's the logo. I think Bobby shared with us because we voted the logo, and that's the most voted logo. So for now, it seems
Good. I
the
like
new
it.
one. Yeah, yeah, me too. I like it. It's very nice logo, and also I'm starting to change in the different part of the code. So that's the new one, and also the meetup. So we have that's October is the last month, and so we can also working on our code base. And maybe in November, you can share our ideas, results, and so on. But at the same time, October, we have in 14th, we have a meeting, and it's an online meeting. And I also shared the link here. Okay, yeah, we are. We can also see the program. Okay, introduction, and also the roadmap, architecture, yeah, 50 minutes live demo, and also some hands-on for people who wants to test. Um, okay, what about security cost and Snowflake native path, and also last 10 minutes for Q&A. Okay, and yes, about um, yeah, in my opinion, that could be a nice opportunity also to get feedback from maintainer in the community, and in yeah on Sunday I shared an article on Medium where I wrote my experience after 2 years as a project leader of the open source software AIFAQ. And okay, maybe we can also talk about that and some insight that I received during this weekend. Okay, about agents, I think we we are moving forward from the early stage to the next step of the project. So the idea validation, and also to have some collaboration with other projects and iteration. There are different ideas. So there are some events. One is the Linux Foundation is organizing an event for maintainer and developers. So I'd like to get that opportunity to talk with other maintainer in the community, and maybe many maintainers are wants to meet in Europe. I don't know because last year was in San Francisco, if I remember right, and so that can be nice to have insight with other maintainer. And I see also, if I remember, an email from Ryan in the loop. And other ideas is to reach out the other project. And one is the Git mesh of Ryan to maybe collaborate with him in the to solve the project manager for open source pain points. And yeah, okay, and when we have maybe some good feedback, we can also start the iteration process. Yeah, to have a good path for the project. Yeah, I'm waiting for Jeram um, feedback. I received one email from Tim, and he suggested to us to join a startup program of Snowflake. So I will share with Jeram and understand if he is able to join the program or not. And just to finish one feedback about, okay, where is my article? Okay, just to talk about some. Yeah, okay, that's my article, and I presented the main pain point for the last 2 years. And yeah, I try to, if you want to check, but I think you already done. Okay, the first, in my opinion, is that many maintainers are students or uh, graduates, early graduates, and then they cannot contribute for a long stretch. Yeah, maybe they have not full-time commitment people, because maybe they should study, so they come back to classes, exam, or and maybe they need to looking for paid jobs. So we have the commitment is not full-time. In this experience, you have people with permanent and full jobs, so they should dedicate all days to our project. And another, I think another issue is that the contributors are not full time, so they have other project or work. I think also to some developer that they wants to join open source project to step up or for other reason, they cannot work all day. So it's not easy to, how to say, to synchronize the tasks, because if you assign a task to a person but the second task depends on the first one, if the developer, the maintainer, does not finish and open the PR related to that task, you cannot go ahead. You cannot assign the second one. And also, we have developers from very different backgrounds. So we have maybe junior developer or other people in the first year of the bachelor. So we have different background. I also want to propose some um, maybe the onboarding task can be supported from AI, for example, and also task manager for open source that allow to have micro task, and also to assign to or not assign, maybe to have a synchronization and with easy handle the case of not finished task and maybe assigned to another person can be useful. Or I think maybe the third one could be very nice to have some AI agents to automate to test the code and before the merging of the PR. Okay. Any question? Any? I did not see Jerome.
Yeah, so I've got some thoughts around AI agents that can do other things like onboarding and pre-sales demos, and did a little bit of work the previous week on proving some things out after I sent you and Tim that email, Gianluca. But before I jump into that and get your thoughts on what I'm working on, um, want to know where do we stand with getting Tim and JRAM together to discuss the Snowflake integration?
Okay. As far as I know, last time we were in the advisor meeting, Tim asked to check a demo, and Jerome is working on a issue in the because the current version is not able to ingest all some file format. And the idea now, I'm waiting for the first testable demo from Jairam and
Okay.
share with Tim. And in the other end, Tim suggested to join the Snowflake startup program because can be an opportunity for the project. So I'd like to talk with you, Bobby, and Jerem about this topic.
Okay.
Okay, so and in my opinion, with for Snowflake, we can use a similar formula. Maybe we can try to interview some potential customers and talk with them about their pain point. Yeah, imagine Snowflake clients like people who already have some application or data set in Snowflake platform, and maybe they need
Right.
some kind of service for analyzing data and extract, I don't know, KPI, insight, or other useful information. And I remember that I joined an event when two people presented a startup with Snowflake in Snowflake Marketplace. Both of them are um, data analyzing for existing data setting in Snowflake. So it can be an
Yeah.
interesting, yeah. topic.
So that's what we sort of need to be able to demo, I believe, is that at the end of the day, show that we can connect to data that's secure on Snowflake using their, you know, without having to load things into our, what do you call it? Our uh, uh, vector database, and that way everything sort of stays on the safe and secure behind the Snowflake wall there. So, all right, so we'll wait to see what's ready when he's ready for that to be demo. Just let us know. I'd like to be on whatever that meeting is with Tim, whether we do it during our weekly or bi-weekly advisor meeting or we set a separate time. Let me know. Um,
Okay. Yeah, maybe also I can send an email to Jam and also Bobby at the end of this meeting and asking if they have also a testable demo. Yeah, I think we are not interested in all the file format to test the system. We can also, I remember last time he talked about an issue related with OCR file text extraction, but I think
okay.
we can also use other kind of format like to test PDF or text that we can
Yeah, we
manually.
don't need to go wide. We just need to show that, hey, from start to finish, this thing can connect with some form of data that's stored on Snowflake, ideally something that's structured and unstructured, and
Yeah,
then
I
and
agree.
a natural language interface on top of it.
I agree. We can also, yeah, if some formats is as stable, we can also extract manually the text from that kind of files and maybe ingest the knowledge base in case and test the system. Just test it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So let me show you what
And
I've been working on with this concept around pre-sales demos. So you guys can see my screen. So if
yes,
you're, I
yes, yeah.
shared this article with you a couple weeks ago, and so the idea is that an AI agent would be able to conduct demos of software. And so initially the thought was, oh, we'll have to sort of break it into short videos. But I'm like, I think the ideal solution, the ideal user experience is that it's interacting with a demo, a live website, the way a human would interact with a live website and having a conversation back and forth. So I found and went through this demo, uh, and ran the code and got it to work. And all this does is go to the playwright's documentation, load all this into an LLM, and then query against it to summarize it and find a list of tools that it integrates with. And so I did this proof of concept and it worked. Um, And so
Okay.
I started working on sort of the next version of this, of saying, okay, well, let me see what I can do with this playwright thing to get it to integrate with stuff. So I worked with ChatGPT, and there's this, website, Sauce Demo. It's literally like a fake e-commerce site with a login, and you can interact with it. And what I did is I created a little program in Visual Studio, and where's the 800? And so I'm going to add the LLM part to it now, but for now, I just sort of broke it out with buttons and actions that the LLM can do. So here's that swag thing here. And if I click login, you'll see it
Oh,
highlighted what it's doing and logged into the system. Then if I want to add something to inventory, I say like one here. I said add to index, and you see how it's highlighting the item where it's clicking, and that now the cart shows that it now has a one in it. And I can also like scroll down. So if I wanted to scroll down 200 pixels, see how it moved the
oh,
screen, scroll down. Um,
That's very interesting.
I can go to the cart. And so this is not actually this website. Everything they said here is running server side. Um, and what it's really doing is just like refreshing and sending screenshots. And
Okay.
and so every like, 2 seconds or 3 seconds, it's just sending like an updated screenshot. Um, it's probably better. Like they said like there's more technical ways to sort of stream this in a better way that's more advanced, so it'll look smoother. But the next thing I'm going to sort of add here is I'm going to add a text box where someone can just type in a command like, "Hey," I'll go back to the inventory screen. "Hey, buy the Sauce Labs bike backpack." And I want to see if it'll then add that to the cart. So that's the next step.
Okay.
So I sort of tested this proof of concept of LangChain with Playwright on something that was it used a lot of tokens because it literally scraped the entire website, summarized it, and I wanted something that's a little more interactive. So to avoid using tokens, for now, I just set it up as a bunch of controls on the left to see if I can control the browser. And now the next thing I'm going to do, as I said, is going to add a text box here for you to type a command and see if I can get the LLM to now interact with these screen assets, with these different screen objects. Um, so I just wanted to share this with you and sort of
If
explain to
uh,
you what I'm trying to get to, and I'm going to keep iterating with ChatGPT on some vibe coding here to sort of do this. But ideally, what I'd like to do is like build this into like a real demo of some software as a service platform, whether it's Nova Echo or something else, um, to give a demo. But the idea is for it to be to actually run a real live demo site, not just decide which 20 to 30-second video it should play.
Okay, that seems very interesting. If I think to one great pain point for yeah, for project manager and software development process in general, because that's in the it's the third in my list. When you if you need to test the system before merge new changes from contributors or in general from developers, you have a great, yeah, it's a great challenge to integrate automatic test. But that can be a solution. That can be a solution, and it's the how to say, it's my thing in the weekend. Yeah, how to automate the test and validation process, and maybe one that can be a solution. Very interesting. Yes, that's
Well,
very
yeah, yeah.
interesting.
So that's what Playwright is for automated testing. And but since it can also display a browser, I'm sort of using it for the idea of giving a demo.
Okay. And so, a question: what does it mean no LLM in that case?
No, because this is the version of the program that's not using an LLM.
Okay.
It's just controls on this left-hand side. The next version I'm going to create is where I'm going to have it interact with an LLM.
Okay. Very interesting.
Because initially I just did this tutorial. And like I said, all the tutorial did is use the LLM to literally go through the entire website, um, find, create a summary. So it grabbed all the text from the website, create a summary, and then created a list of tools that Playwright integrates with.
Hmm.
And so that ended up using a fair amount of tokens, as I said. Where is it? Yeah, that ended up using like it uses like
Hmm.
9,000 tokens a call.
Okay.
Seems
Well,
like a lot.
maybe. Yeah, when they start, I think you should, yeah, like uh, scrap
I mean,
their,
yeah, I mean
yeah.
it was only 1 penny, but that's still a lot
Hmm.
of tokens. So it's like 9,000
Okay.
tokens for this.
Yeah, I think, but I think if the page, if you, it's you can use, I think, cache for the optimization. You can use cache because if you think that your web page or your web application does not change, does not change everything in the page every time. When you receive a new PR developer. Maybe they added some new button or move, I don't know, a clip or a list to another place or add an extra feature. So it's, I think you can use a kind of cache mechanisms to save some new tokens in this
Okay.
solution. Yeah, I think, yeah,
Yeah,
the
so
first
we can talk
time.
about optimizing this, and after I
Mhm.
get through sort of a simple proof of concept, or if I get stuck, I'll just sort of keep you a track of my progress here. So
Okay.
Ryan's making some good comments. So I had this idea to do this like 2.5 years ago. I'm like, oh, AI would be great for an agent that can give demos. And then I was sort of inspired like 2 months ago when I heard that Y Combinator actually listed this of an AI agent that can do demos and onboarding as like the number two thing they'd like their, applicants to be working on.
Yeah.
So I'm aware that Y Combinator is specifically looking at this. Um, However, Ryan, if you're aware of any other tools that people have built that I can use as infrastructure to do better browser automation and interactive activities, let me know. I have seen Perplexity Comet, or I'm aware of it, but I haven't really played with it yet. And so when I saw that Perplexity was doing this with Comet, that sort of inspired me to like 2 years ago, I was like, I like the idea, but I had wasn't going to do it because I had no idea how I would possibly do it. Like it just I had no clue. But when I saw that Perplexity is actually doing this with Comet and heard about it, I'm like, all right, there must be some technology that enables me to now do this. Um,
Actually, actually, I have used the Perplexity Comet, and like I have also seen, like I also am like fascinated with this browser automation things. So like I also have some 10 or 20 open source repos who are like doing this. But like one of the problem which I also faced, and which almost all companies face by using this browser thing, is like it takes a lot of tokens. Like as you said, it takes a lot
okay.
of token even after optimizing. Like even after too much optimizing, like even Perplexity Comet takes too much tokens, which is like quite tough for a non-funded startup or a person who wants to use it just for fun. Like what I think is like there was a problem with this thing.
Yep. So
Okay.
part of the strategy has to be to come up with a token optimization strategy. And so a lot of that might be to not have the LLM um, interact directly with the browser, but to go through the browser and say, what are all the things you can do on this screen? So you can log in, you can log out, you can add something to inventory, you can scroll, you can remove something from inventory, you can move to the checkout cart. And so like these actions and activities, I'm wondering if if the solution is to like do that, create a bunch of functions that do that, like this demo I've created here, and then use the LLM to call the functions instead of
Mhm.
it um, instead of it looking through the whole website and figuring out what element it should interact with. Just have it figure out, like, train it that, hey, these are the five functions you can do on this screen.
Like it
So,
is
so,
also
so
like present, there are like 3 4 companies who have already done. It's like they, how they like minimize the token thing is like they train it first, like for a particular website. Like there is a website where you can train that model, that once you should do it by yourself, like you will be clicking somewhere and like parsing through whole website. Afterwards, like by 3 or 4 parsing, it would learn the patterns which general user would do on a particular website, and then
yeah,
whosoever new user comes, it would only find out around that region. Like it's something like YOLO does, like the YOLO algorithm does, like it finds in that window only.
yeah. So think about it in terms of if you're giving a demo. So if I was giving a demo on this website, my steps would be I'd log in, I'd look at the products, maybe I'd look at some details about the products, I'd scroll a little, I'd add an item to the cart, I'd add a second item to the cart. And so like that would be bang, that's one set of activities. And then there'd be another set of activities. Oh, this is how you now purchase something. And this, I would go to the cart, I'd enter in my credit card, some fake credit card information. I'd hit purchase, you know, and so we like if you're giving demos of a software as a service site, it's where you'd have some way, and I'm not sure what this part of it is, but it has to be some tool that we develop to allow people to create the demos, to create the AI agents, and identify what are all the activities you want it to be able to do. Um, so I'm not sure what that is yet, but I'm just trying to think, is there some way of recording activities or um,
Personally, I think it's not very important the final use cases at that moment, because it's very interesting for the project management process. And I think, yeah, just to say another, yeah, for the testing phase, I think it's very important. And personally, when I was in companies, in software companies, we spend lots of time in testing system from junior, for example, developers. Yeah, juniors, you cannot avoid junior because you have new people in company, and start the first time with the onboarding. They read the code documentation, but when they start coding, you cannot release the new version, because you trust them, but not 100%, because they are young in your code base. So you
yep.
spend lots of time testing. I remember that's a great pain point for senior developers and also for project managers. So I think currently every
So you're
company.
seeing three good use cases of pre-sales demos. So if we build this, it could work for all three: pre-sales demos, um, onboarding new customers, and then just testing your site.
Yeah, yeah, correct. And I
Okay.
think that the third one, it's not, yeah, it's very important, third one. Especially if you think that every companies today, they use GitHub or some GitHub like tool for the to handle the different changes and the PRs and people. And yeah, you need to test the system. Yeah, it's mandatory to test the system. You cannot release. So it's very important, yeah, to have. If you automate, you save lots of time in testing
Yep.
phase.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I see.
So, so just so again, I'm using this LangChain and Playwright for now. But if you guys come up with something better, or find someone else that releases something, keep your eyes and ears open. If you see something coming out of Y Combinator, if you see Perplexity Comet, um, with an API
Um,
that allows me to control these things, or other things, just keep me open because I'm not sure what to use at this point. So or
Yeah,
I'm happy I found one solution. It doesn't seem ideal though.
yeah. See, Ryan just
What does soda
uh,
stand for?
yeah, he shared a companies in Y Combinator. Yeah, okay, they get 70,000 stars. Okay, okay. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, especially because that's some thoughts of my weekend, last
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah. So this is using Playwright with Chromium. So it's the same tools I'm using. And so yeah, so this is I think this is one of the demos I shared with you. This might be the second demo. Cavangus. Who's the guy? Browser use. I feel like I might have came across this one. Yeah, yeah, I've already got this one in my yeah, I created a document with some of my research on this, and this is one of the demos I did come across. I haven't tried running this as is, but Ryan, but I did find this one. And I think this I might have shared. I forgot if I shared this one with you, Gianluca, or not in
I
Tim
remember.
too much, or if I just sent you um the Medium articles.
We'll check. I think, I remember you sent an email to me
Yeah,
and
so it's for web scraping, form
Tim.
filling, and more. Okay.
Yeah, you shared the first article and two demos,
Okay, so I did
both
share
with.
this demo, the browser use. Okay.
Okay.
And what does
Yeah.
Ryan, what does SOTA, SOTA technique mean?
State of the art means it's like one of those technique which are currently used in the industry level, like best technique, somewhat best technique, like it's the best technique publicly available.
State of the art. That's what SOTA means. Okay, state of the art. Gotcha. All right. All right. So
Very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, so if you guys want to help me and dig in with this, like we'll work on it. I'm gonna spend some more time this week on it and I'll keep you posted and I'll show you my progress on Thursday
Okay, definitely.
on our
Thank you,
next meeting.
Peter. Thank you.
All
I
right.
like your your style in developing. So you write it code. You has written code the last weekend, or just test existing
Yeah,
one.
so no, so I didn't have time to work on it last week. So I did it the previous weekend is when
Okay.
I built this little thing. I started on Friday. I worked on it Friday and Saturday morning. And I got it to work and I'm like and like I said, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna use all these tokens. I know it's only a penny, but like these pennies are gonna add up. Um, so I figured, okay, let me do a proof of concept that I can do to show interacting with the browser and and putting some nice elements on the browser so you could see where people are clicking and where they're typing in. So it also added the little overlays to highlight what fields you're on or what you're clicking on. It's not great, so but it's enough to just get a sense of it. Um, so I want to get the functionality, but then it's like we got to make this look really smooth and really nice. And they said like you're gonna have to use web sockets and other things to really get this to stream properly. But they said for now, just this browser and just sending screen updates is fine enough.
Okay. Yeah, but it's nice. So for a demo, it's very nice to understand how can be the final product when you can click on the left sides and you have results in the right one. So
Yeah.
very interesting.
So. So that's my
Okay.
starting point. So I'll keep you
Okay.
guys posted. And
Mhm.
like I said, just keep your eyes and ears open as you hear of other tools and other things. So far, the best thing seems to be this lane chain with Playwright using the Chromium browser. That
Mhm.
those seem like the tools that other people are using. If you find other tools, let me know.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Sure. You can share.
All right.
And okay. Other question. Okay. I think to code from sketches to this time. Okay. Yeah, I agree.
As you said it, I was
Yeah.
typing it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, if no question, we can update next week. In the meantime, I will send an email to Jerem to ask if they have a good demo to show it you,
Yep.
Bobby, and Tim. And have a nice week to everyone
Yep.
and talk soon.
See everyone soon.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.